Rob Van Dam, listen to True Hill Heat. Pow.
Hello everyone, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley wishing a nice day to everyone there, right there at True Heel Heat. Yeah!
Yo, what up? You know what it is. It's your boy AJ Francis reporting to you live from New York City, the birthplace of hip hop. And I'm telling you that I'm only tuned in with True Heel Heat Wrestling. Holla at me.
What's up, True Heel Heat? True Heel Heat.
What's up? True Heel Heat.
Hello. It is me, your True Heel Phenom SP3. We are live on the True Heel Heat YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter for Rated Raw Review episode 75. The Empire Strikes First. Reviewing last night's July 7, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw as only we can. And to do that, I am joined by my esteemed colleague. No, not Mr. Run from the Grind, not Mr. I can't show up for work 2 weeks in a row, but he did make the beautiful graphic for today and our beautiful graphic for our schedule for All In Week. So I can't be too mad at him for that. But I am joined this week by the resident True Heel alcoholic himself, Top Guy JJ. How are you doing, Top Guy?
Fantastic, man. Not home. Lovely day off. Sleeping my ass off.
I love the beautiful background. It always looks beautiful when you're on vacation. Your background.
You know, just counting my blessings, man. Just continuing to stay lucky every time I do one of these, and it is absolutely fantastic outside. This is like as perfect as you're gonna get outside right now.
Love to see it. Love to see it, and love to see all of y'all in the chat.
Thank you, Dion. That I've been asking for this for like 2 months now.
I agree. I've been saying this to this guy too. I was like, I know you get a lot on your plate because he has to make thumbnails. He makes so many thumbnails that now he thinks he can't show up for Rated Raw review. But I've seen it from Dion in the chat. I've heard it from Top Guy. I've said it to Romeo himself as well. We need JJ a part of the intro. You have been here since Raw has debuted on Netflix. You have earned your spot in the intro for Rated Raw review.
I would greatly appreciate that. That would be amazing. And you know what? I don't like tooting my own horn very much. And I think I've been on more of these episodes in 2025 than the co-host of the show in 2025.
You know what? I think you might be right. You might be right that you have been on more episodes than Romeo, who loves his Tuesdays. He told me, I'm gonna pull back the curtain because he had the audacity to tell me that he is celebrating July 4th. I was like, sir, tomorrow is July 8th.
It's fucking July 8th. There's nobody doing a fuck thing but going back to work today. There's no one doing anything but going back to work today. So if it was the weekend, if it was the 5th and 6th, I'd understand that. But it is motherfucking Tuesday. Taco Tuesday at that.
We got some Taco Tuesday love in the chat, I see already. But yes, we appreciate y'all for joining us live. Appreciate y'all if you're watching us on demand. Either way, show your appreciation back. The simplest way possible is by dropping the thumbs up on this video. You could share this video with all your wrestling fans, friends, and family on all your favorite social media platforms. If you are new to the True Hill Heat YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified for all the great content here, because it is all in week here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel. So I will show some love to Romeo and show this beautiful graphic he has put together for us for all in week. I thought the WrestleMania week graphic was beautiful, but this one, it's so much themed. It's a themed graphic as well. Love it so much. So as you are watching here right now, you see Rated Raw Review 75 is today, July 8th. Tomorrow we'll be going live at 2:05 p.m. Eastern Time with our WWE Atlanta Takeover preview, as we'll be previewing WWE Saturday Night's Main Event, Evolution, and NXT Great American Bash. Thursday, you got the usual AE Ramble. Friday, we got our AEW All in Texas preview with myself, Maggie, and Jay News. And then Saturday is jam-packed, as we'll have the True Hill Heat flagship podcast as your pre-show ahead of All in Texas. Then an hour or so after the True Hill Heat flagship podcast, and we're going right into All in Texas with the watch party hosted by Romeo. And then he'll be finishing off the night with WWE Saturday Night's Main Event as well. And then Sunday, you got our AEW All in Texas review. We'll be doing a WWE Evolution watch party, and then finishing off this All in Texas week with our WWE Saturday Night's Main Event and Evolution review next Monday. So 8 straight days of content, as I said yesterday, but the schedule has 7 days straight of multiple live streams that we'll be doing for you. So great time to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to stay notified. Our goal for this week is to hit 24,000 subscribers. I think we're less than 200 away, so I'm hoping we can hit that by the end of the week. A modest goal, but I'm hoping we can hit it for sure. But of course, if you're with us live, you want to talk some Monday Night Raw, and we want to hear from all of you. So if you're watching us on demand, comment down below. Let us know what you thought about this episode of Monday Night Raw. And if you're with us live, we love to interact with all of you. So sound off in the live chat. We'll try to highlight as many of your comments as possible. But of course, if you're feeling generous, you want to give back to what we do here, you want to show your support to the True Heel Heat YouTube channel in the best way possible, you can do so with a super chat donation. Any dollar amount matters. It goes back to the contributors that you see on screen with us here. Goes a long way to keep the channel moving and move forward and grow. So we always appreciate the support. We got Safet in the chat with us today saying, sup, everyone. We got Dion who says, what's up, everybody? Dion saying, just looked at the schedule. It's going to be a busy week for THH. You ain't never lie. You ain't never lie. Yes, that's my new nickname. No days off, SP3. Mr. No.
You know, I was looking at that thumbnail and I saw that. Well, yeah, that was well done. So yeah, good props to Romeo on that because that actually looks really tight. I was just wondering, what the fuck are y'all doing on Thursday? Like, why y'all slacking?
We're doing AE Ramble.
No. you see everything has like fucking 5-6 graphics on every day, and then Thursday is like chill day.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. It's only one stream. This the weekend. We're doing multiple streams.
I just looked at how small the AE Ramble is. I was like, that's so tiny, so tiny. They gonna like these niggas are gonna run through Dynamite.
No, it's Jimmy Macaron. He'll probably talk about WWE for an hour.
Full week right there. Sheesh.
Indeed. Yes, we're celebrating Taco Tuesday. We got Power Drive Finisher complimenting, saying tight themed schedule layout. Indeed, I told Romeo, phenomenal work. He did his thing on that. So I was happy to give him his sick day on today, so he could celebrate 4th of July after that.
Sick day. This nigga calls out every other week.
We got Chuck Berries. He says, what's good, THH fam? Well, I see Romeo is missing in action again, running away from the grind. Go figure, LOL. But what's good, fellas? Good to see you, Chuck Berries. Love seeing you in the chat.
Yeah.
We got Aubrey who says, what's up, guys? Triple H needs to get fired, demoted to NXT, and bring up Shawn Michaels. These shows are boring. These shows are boring and repetitive. There's no credible heels, are cartoonish, and they lose.
Lose.
To be fair,
sounds kind of bitter.
Steph doesn't lose. He is cartoonish, though.
Yeah. But, the heels, they went 3 for 3. They went 2-1. But
yeah, they went 2-1.
They went 2-1 in the plan, and then they went 2-1 in the ring.
There we go.
In completely different fashions.
We got Dion who says, not only is WWE competing against All In, they're competing against themselves. What were they thinking? It's gone wrong for Evolution. Evolution's ticket sales. I don't know if there's been an update on the ticket sales, but the last check was 4,800 out of a 15,000 seat building.
Oh, the niggas are going to start giving away tickets. That building's going to be full one way or another.
Everybody wants to go to the Beyonce concert across the street.
Pulling motherfuckers from the street.
They was like, oh, you can't get into the Beyonce concert? Here's a ticket.
Word. Or they're going to be bribing people. I'll give you $200 if you just don't go to that show. And they were like, nigga, I pay like 5 racks to go to Beyonce. What the fuck you talking about? And I ain't missing no Beyonce experience to go to some pay-per-view that I don't even give a fuck about.
So you should have booked it better, man. Sheesh.
Yeah.
Got Davion.
Beyonce gonna show out.
Exactly. And they booked her better. They promoted her better. Davion says, what's good, my brothers? Good to see you. We got Matthew Rodriguez saying, question, what NXT female wrestler do you see be aligned with a Grande Americano in the future? Lola Vice.
Wow. Yeah, I think he needs El Grande. I think needs to just turn in his resignation papers. And yeah, this one was bad. This one was really bad. Like, do you not know, nigga? Like, we know you. like nigga, like that. Like, nigga, do you know that we can see you? Like, this nigga didn't even change his stance in the ring.
No.
This nigga was still perky. And like
he did a forward roll.
Like, nigga, I can see you. Like,
Michael Cole was very annoying during that matchup, by the way.
Like, this nigga, we know there's only one motherfucker in the company that stands like a boomerang.
Yeah, this is true. This is true.
Like, yo, like, this nigga, like, and you could tell he was so uncomfortable. He was so uncomfortable.
He did not know what it was like to wrestle in a mask.
I gotta pander. I gotta be happy. Like, this motherfucker, pause. I'm gonna say this, pause right off rip. This motherfucker is stiff as shit. And he trying to out there mock to mimic a fucking luchador.
A fake luchador at that. We also got a super chat donation. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the love and support. He says, just showing some love to make Romeo mad. LOL. Yes, you know the deal. You know the rules. When Romeo doesn't show up to work, y'all send more super chats than you usually will when he does show up to work. That's always the rule of thumb here. We appreciate the support and the running bit on the show. We also got another super chat donation here from Valab. Thank you so much, Valab, for the support. He says, what's really changed for Penta since moving to WWE anyway? He shows up, looks cool, has a match, and looks up at the lights. He has more exposure and he feels more like a star than he did in AEW.
And looking up at the lights to one of the biggest stars in the entire company isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah, I think the only person that's pinned him that you can like make an argument, oh, he shouldn't be looking up to the lights for him, is probably like Finn Balor. But it's still Finn Balor at the end of the day. Despite how he's been booked, it's still Finn Balor.
Like, these guys aren't like bad people that he's losing to. And on top of that, he's still putting on great work. He's still doing great work. Like, so, I mean, I guess is, you know, I guess that's the fan just wanting more for him, and it's understandable. It's understandable. He's been around for what, 6 months now? 6 months, but I think his goal has been accomplished so far. He is a massive star on the premier show of the WWE. Like, I mean, look, LA Knight's been waiting 2.5 years. So, I mean, LA Knight's still waiting for his. So, let's just, it'll come, but just, Lord knows when.
I like the shirt and hat combo, by the way, JJ. Just wanted to let you know.
Oh, good. Yeah. Popeye.
There you
Popeye
go.
and
Very
Mike.
nice. Very nice.
Yes, sir.
We also got Dion, who's been a member of the channel for 2 months. Thank you so much, Dion, for the support. He says, I saw MJF, Osprey, and Swerve's comments about people coming from other companies. Does that apply to Okada as well? I know he can be good, but he is lazy. Okada is not, he paces himself. Okada has always been like this, so they knew what they were getting from Okada. Okada on the road 2 shows would be, as you would describe it, as lazy. It's the same thing with Naito. There was the whole thing calling him T-shirt Naito. Even someone who put on incredible matches like Kenny Omega, he would always take nights off and have very comedy style matches on the road 2 shows. So Okada treats a lot of the Dynamite episodes like Road 2 shows, but I can't call him lazy when he just had a great match with Kota Ibushi, who hasn't had a great match in like 4 years. So like he knows when to turn it on. There is a difference between putting, 100% all the time, which some people have to do, but when you're a star at the level of Okada, you don't have to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I get the comment, but it's also at the same time is Okada is one of the biggest stars in the world. He's one of the biggest stars in the world. And when he is not on a platform working with the biggest stars in the world, he's going to go to work, but the moment isn't calling for that superstar to arrive. And it's like almost like he knows when to bring it out. Like he has such a niche for the game. Like he kind of knows what the forgettable weeks are in wrestling and what the memorable weeks are in wrestling. Like he's really good at that. And not everybody can pull it off. Not everybody can get away with it because not everybody is as good as he is. But yeah, it's like a fair point if you're kind of watching from a novice standpoint, because there's plentiful weeks where he is giving you like half-ass matches. But this is on general regular Collision programming. This is Dynamite programming. Nobody's going to remember the episode from April 23rd. Like, and that's just kind of like, and it's not the best mindset, but it's a mindset of he's a superstar. He is like a legit superstar. So he's not going to try to act like this is his last match, every match that he goes out there and performs, because he knows where the money's at. And that's with the heavy hitters. Like it's not the best approach, but not everybody can get away with it. Like not everybody can get away with it. And there's very few. And Okada is definitely one of them.
Yeah, and Dion says, I was more impressed with Ibushi. That's by design, Dion. That was the point of the match. He was great at what he was doing because the whole point of the match was to be impressed with Ibushi. That's the point.
Elevate Ibushi. Like SP literally just, because even when his first comeback, he was very unimpressive. And the first time he came back after, because he left wrestling for a while because he just fell out of love with the game. And when he came back, he didn't restore love for the game. Like it's like Ibushi came back to work. Yeah. This now is supposed to elevate to make it look like Ibushi has got the love back for wrestling. And if he does that, good Lord, AEW got themselves a fucking steal. A fucking steal.
Absolutely. And we're gonna know if big match Okada is in him when the bell rings on Saturday. We'll know then. And Chase said it best. Like I do agree with Chase here. He says, I feel the problem with most people who call Okada washed or lazy are the people who only watch the big Okada matches and not how Okada was on the regular in NJPW. 100%. Like I said, if you watched any of those Road 2 shows and you see Okada on Dynamite now, you're like, oh, he's treating it like a Road 2 show. If you watch those Road 2 shows with Okada in multi-man matches and in singles matches against Young Lions, he did not put in that much effort. He only steps up when he truly respects the person he's in the ring with, or the person in the ring with wants to earn his respect. Then he turns it on. Oh, and he knows when it matters the most. That's when he steps up.
Yeah, and it's like when he realizes there's a moment to be had. When there's a moment to be had, he gonna be there. He gonna come through. This is weekly television, y'all. I think weekly television, you're like we are gonna keep seeing versions of people that we have like such high expectations for, thinking that they're supposed to do what they do literally every single week. And then you're gonna get disappointed when he turns it on every single week, and then he has 2 to 3 off weeks and he decides to chill. So it's like a damned if he do and damned if he don't type deal. And I ain't mad if he's treating weekly television like weekly television. It would become a problem if he treats pay-per-views and he treats mega matches like monthly events. And I have not seen him do that yet.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll see. We'll see what happens on Saturday. But let's get into last night's Monday Night Raw, which took place from Providence, Rhode Island. I just had to say off the bat, this is one of the best crowds for Raw all year long.
Oh, this crowd was fucking awesome. This crowd was awesome. And they ate up the show. Like, they ate up the show. And this is one of the better crowds that we've had here on this side of this country in a long time. And props to them because they showed out. They showed out. They've already made the show better already just by their participation and their passion. So already off to a really good start.
We see a live drone shot of a Mecca Mutual Pavilion, which is where Raw was at last night. We get shots of Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, Penta, and the Judgment Day entering the arena. And then we kick off the show, as we tend to do nowadays, with Seth freaking Rollins, Bronson Reed, and Braun Breaker, the Braun Stars, as well as Paul Heyman wielding the Money in the Bank briefcase. Seth still has the Burn It Down theme song, so of course the fans are singing along. You get the commentators discussing Rollins' upcoming bout against LA Knight on Saturday night's main event, while the group walked down to the ring. As Rollins and his faction stood inside the ring, the crowd serenaded him with more of the sing-along of Rollins' theme song for a bit. When Rollins asked for the microphone from Paul Heyman, it was Braun Breaker who stepped up instead and takes the mic away. He stands close to the ropes as Seth is like, "What the hell? Who does this guy think he is?" Behind his back, Braun says that he stood in the ring because Seth Rollins and Paul Heyman had a vision for Breaker, which has him as the face of WWE for the next 2 decades. Breaker said that he also has a vision for a WWE without Sami Zayn because he doesn't like him. His stupid beard, or you guys singing along to his theme music. Breaker couldn't understand. He couldn't even fathom why the fans rooted for someone that has the athleticism of a dead fish and hangs on for dear life for the last 5 years because he was going to put an end to Sami Zayn tonight. That is because Breaker was going to maul Zayn and ensure that he look up at the lights when it was all said and done. He was so erratic. He was walking around. He was getting upset as he was even talking about it and the fans were cheering. He then finally, Heyman took the microphone away from him. He looks like he's about to, he gives it to Seth Rollins. Rollins looks like he's about to speak, but instead he turns it over to Bronson Reed this time. Reed said that Breaker was a tough act to follow, but so was he. He boasted about nailing Seth Rollins with 6 consecutive tsunamis last year. An act in which made Rollins and himself respect each other, and Seth respected him enough to bring him into his faction. Reed said that Jey Uso didn't respect him, and that would change tonight because he tsunami the respect into Uso just like he did to Seth Rollins. I was like, God damn, okay. both of the Braun
right there.
Both of the Braun Stars disrespected this. I was loving it. This is my favorite segment.
This was so great.
The this is my favorite segment from the Seth ride. Seth then grabs the mic. He looks like he's about to speak again, but then he refuses to speak when the fans start chanting for CM Punk. So it was time for Paul Heyman to now speak. Heyman said that the Empire strikes back tonight, but no. Check that. The Empire strikes first tonight. Breaker would strike first against Sami Zayn. Heyman said that Roman Reigns didn't have the balls to come back and step against Seth Rollins and his crew. This led to OTC chants from the fans. He says there's also the big news that we haven't heard, that being Seth Rollins donning the tights against Penta tonight. Heyman mocked Penta's stupid freaking hand signals, saying that he's not cool enough or young enough to understand any of these stupid hand signals, and said that Rollins would leave him unable to do them again because he stomped him so hard later on tonight that he'd be seeing stars. And he started speaking in Spanish, and Seth Rollins behind him like, this guy knows Spanish? He was impressed with that even. And then finally, it was Paul Heyman's turn to give the microphone to Seth Rollins, and the fans continued to chant for CM Punk. Rollins didn't want to follow any of those promos, so he just concluded things by saying, without further ado, welcome everyone to Monday Night Rollins, which got a big pop, severely ruining all the heat that everybody else was able to gain for him because he doesn't want to get booed.
You know what?
This guy
sucks. Mad at that. I wasn't mad at
this
that.
Guy sucks. He sucks. He sucks.
I wasn't mad at it because his entire promo was like 7 words.
It was, but somehow with the 7 words, he was able to ruin all the heat that everybody else got for him. So I was loving this segment until his final line. I was like, why does your final line have to be a baby face reaction? He sucks. He sucks at this. How are you the leader? You're the least interesting person in this group.
That's what a leader does, is like that quick little end cap. That's literally all he did, was an end cap.
An end cap that got a big pop from the fans after they were booing. Booing him and booing everybody else.
Did you not hear the fucking reaction that Braun Breaker was getting throughout the entire match with Sami Zayn? Like they're gonna get cheered. Like it's almost like they can't avoid that. It's like they can't avoid it. And you know what? Out of accident, the Empire sounds like a really nice name.
I wouldn't mind that.
Empire sounds like a pretty cool name, so I wouldn't even be mad at that.
But
bro,
Bron Breakker was a star here. Bron Breakker. Spoiler alert: he's a finalist for MVP of this whole episode.
So I think, so what's funny is that I think, I see Pile Driver's comment. So what's funny is that I'm here and my family is, this side of the family, Spanish. Yeah. So I called my niece over and I was like, okay, I want to know if he really completely just butchered this entire dialogue. I just want to see how bad this was. And it was something of the line of, like, I think he said that something about Seth is gonna kill him because he's dirty. You're welcome.
Sucio.
Yeah. So she said it was very broken, but a couple words were words. And she said, yeah, that's kind of like the gist of what he said, but a lot of it was broken. But it was still like the fact that he just did that was like, this man he's a demon, bro. But this was fantastic from start to finish. I loved it. I loved the disrespect from the start, and it was more like not disrespect, but it was like, yo, I need to get this off my chest, and I don't give a fuck who's holding the microphone. I'm taking this shit. Like, I need to get this shit off my chest. And Braun cut a Scott Steiner promo like a Scott Steiner promo would fucking hit.
This was Scott Steiner in the NWO. This was
this-
exactly what that was.
Yo, this man was crashing out on live TV. He was crashing out. And I'm like, wait a minute. Why am I loving this so much? like he was like all the shit that was like in his head. You know, when you think of shit in your head and it just doesn't make much sense when it comes out of your mouth. This is exactly what Bron did. But it was like so good. It was almost like, I dare somebody go in that ring and try to correct him. Because you're not. And then just he knew that he ate that when he gave the mic back, and then the camera went on him, and he just gave that glare to the camera.
Back,
like,
yeah,
I just fucking crushed that. Like, yo, this was so good. And then like Bronson Reed, it was like Bronson Reed ain't gonna be able to top that. And it's like, and I love that he acknowledged that. Like, how do you top that? like they just did this so perfectly. And then Paul Heyman came out and he said what he said, and he did his thing, and he got and then Seth Rollins got the mic. There's nothing else left for me to say. And that's why I enjoyed it, because he literally just like, they just said everything for me. Braun spoke on Sami. Bronson spoke on Jey. Paul spoke on Seth's opponent. There's nothing left for Seth to say.
He didn't care about promoting his matchup with LA Knight.
No, not at all. And that, I love, and the cool thing about this is I love how this disrespect and lack of acknowledgement literally comes back to haunt him. Yeah. This was done right. This was done well. This was the most effective the Seth Riders have come off. Yeah, this was done really well, and I appreciate that, and I want to be able to give some flowers where they are due at times, because we let them have it when they are fucking not on it. But this segment was nice, a nice prelude to what the night was going to be, and I love the way they started this show. Yes,
and I said it in my headline. Braun Breaker proved that he's Anakin Skywalker. He's the Darth Vader. Seth is just Darth. He's Darth Maul. He's Darth Maul. He's the guy with the red and black from.
He's a bum.
He's pathetic. He's a bum.
Like, that shit is gonna live rent free in my head for so long.
Oh, I loved him. He was awesome the whole night.
Man.
Everything he did, even the backstage segment we'll talk about later, he was great there as well. He was great with Penta in their backstage segment. Oh man, this was a breakout performance as far as character work.
Just from spoiler alert, this is a massive MVP candidate for me tonight.
Oh, he was great. He was great all night. Yes, he saved us from a 20-minute Seth Rollins promo that said absolutely nothing. So Braun Breaker definitely gets props for that. Then we go backstage to the other main faction on WWE Raw, the Judgment Day, who have all the gold.
Look at that shot.
The men were admiring. We had Balor admiring their championship gold, while Dominic and JD were playing darts. As Raquel Rodriguez comes in and she spots Roxanne Perez putting a photo of Liv Morgan around a whole bunch of candles, like they were mourning her loss.
Disrespectful, bro.
much to Raquel's dismay, saying that she's working out and she'll be back in no time. But Balor says that when he dislocated his shoulder, he was out for 8 months. It's gonna take a while. Rodriguez and Perez discuss how to best deal with Kairi Sane, who was facing Perez in a matchup up next, and then they left. Dominic then thanked JD and Finn for the get well soon cake. The Irishmen both looked at each other and were like, "Was that you?" It was like, "No, it wasn't us." but it turns out they didn't gift him it. But when Mysterio took a closer look at it, he saw that it was from AJ Styles. He then turns around to see that AJ Styles is hiding behind
This was so great.
a wardrobe.
So
And
great.
said, he basically became Robert De Niro in Meet the Parents. Say, I got my eye on you.
Yo, Raw is starting off great tonight. Like this, I love this segment too. Like, yo, the disrespect. Yo, how the fuck they put a fucking funeral arrangement,
mourning
a mourning
her loss
arrangement around Liv? Like, she's not ever coming back. Like, she's dead.
She's dead. She's dead.
And then, what made this even great is just the way like AJ is just peeking behind the equipment. And then the cap off the motherfucking segment, Dom takes a piece of the icing and eats it.
He's like, I got a doctor's note. See, I got a doctor's note.
He pulled out that note so fucking quick. They were starting on one tonight. Like, this is one of the best starts to Monday Night Raw, in my opinion, in a long time. Because this was like really like 30 minutes, and it was just like, and they haven't even had a match yet. And this shit has just been really good.
Yeah. This was a fun start. Then our opening matchup was the aforementioned Roxanne Perez going one-on-one with Kairi Sane. The match got underway with Perez and Sane sizing each other up as the former started hammering away at the latter with fists. Perez threw Sane in the corner and tried to maintain the momentum and applied a headlock, and then Perez attempted a spear that got turned into a unique pinning attempt. You get the newest Judgment Day member hit Zayn with an elbow to the face. During the commercial break, you get Zayn, who got momentum back with the interceptor, and then Zayn continued the attack. She blasted Perez with a sliding D. She went for the insane elbow, but Perez was able to avoid it by kicking Kairi in the face. The finish comes out when Raquel pulls Roxanne out of the way of the insane elbow when Zayn went for it. She does a big crossbody dive to the outside on Raquel. Back in the ring, though, you get Perez, who goes for the pop rocks, but Kairi is able to reverse it. She gets a backslide for the 1-2-3 to pick up the victory, pinning one half of the new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Post-match, you get the women's tag team champions Roxanne and Raquel. They jump Kairi in a 2-on-1 assault until Asuka runs down and making the save for her Kabuki Warriors tag team partner. You get Raquel gets advantage of Asuka. She goes for a power bomb on her, but Zayn is able to make the save as Asuka gets an armbar on Raquel over the ropes until Zayn puts her over the top rope. Then Asuka catches Roxanne. She puts her in position for a reverse DDT, but waits for Kairi to head up top, who hits the insane elbow on Roxanne at the same time as the reverse DDT, the old Kabuki Warriors finisher, as the Kabuki Warriors reunite here and lay out the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Then later in the show, we would see the Kabuki Warriors head up to Adam Pearce's office and ask him if they want a shot at at Judgment Day, and they want to face them for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. They announced that they will be representing Monday Night Raw in the 4-way matchup at Evolution, which will feature Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss, who won the qualifying matchup on SmackDown, and representing NXT is Zarya and Sol Ruka, who lost on NXT last week. Way to go, WWE. You're really booking this one very nicely. But glad to see Asuka and Kairi back together, and glad to see them having something for Asuka coming off the heels of her loss in the Queen of the Ring tournament. So no issues there. what did you think about Kairi versus Roxanne? And what do you think about the Kabuki Warriors reuniting post-match and them on their way to Evolution to face the Judgment Day, Bliss and Flair and Zaruka? The matchup, I didn't think it was as good as I thought it could have. It was solid enough, solid work from both ladies. It was just a little bit sloppy at the start is what I like. I think it was not as good as it could have been.
I mean, it was a decent match. Like, it was nothing to write home about. Nothing too crazy. It was okay. Like, it was okay. Like, I think you said, like, I think if this was like on a PLE or something, I think this match would have been a lot better. But you know, it was what it was. It was a decent TV match. We got a finish. We got a pinfall victory. Then we got the jumping back there, and then I love the reaction that Asuka got, because Asuka got herself a nice pop when her music hit. And listen, when they went back there, and as happy as Asuka was for reuniting the Kabuki Warriors, I can't be mad at them reuniting the Kabuki Warriors, because Asuka was on one when she heard that announcement.
She was doing the dance.
Okay, come on. Like, she should even have fucking Adam Pearce fucking doing a dad move.
Yeah.
like so, you know, it was cool. I guess, you know, they got this match locked in for Evolution now. I don't know how a losing team makes it to this match, but sure, you know.
And it was the fact that the quote that Michael Cole said is, "We all know that Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss and Zaruka are already in this matchup." I was like, no, we don't. It's like, this is literally the first time you're announcing that Sol Ruka and Zarya are the ones representing NXT, and they literally lost the last tag team matchup they were in.
So for people rushing to wanting Shawn Michaels to run Raw and the company, y'all might want to revisit that thought process, because he's sending losers to represent his brand. Yeah, go figure that. But Asuka, I love Asuka during this entire segment. Like, I'm telling you, they need to turn that into a Scorpion Death drop with the insane elbow. That ain't nobody kicking out of that, and that looks like a fantastic finish.
Yeah.
So I thought Asuka was gonna drop with Kairi, but she kind of just let her go.
Plus, it was on the side of her bad leg, so I can understand if he wasn't feeling that confident.
I think that's something they're gonna have to practice and just make sure that it's safe for Asuka, because listen, we've only had Asuka back like 3 weeks now, and I'm loving every week that she's been on TV so far. So we cannot afford to lose her again. So yeah, but that is a potential setup to an amazing tag team finisher move.
I like the lady, the team selected in the 4-way as well. I suspect, I thought that this was going to be the Bella Twins spot, but I could understand with no Liv why they switch curses. I think there's some people who believe that it was going to be Nikki versus Liv at Evolution. I think it was always going to be the WWE Women's Tag Team titles on the line, because I don't know why you would do Evolution without the Women's Tag Team titles being represented, but we won't know until the Bella Twins say something on their podcast, so we'll have to find out later.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice to know that all three four. Is the United States Championship being defended?
No.
Okay, so they got 4 of the 5, and they still have a late-minute announcement they can possibly make on SmackDown. We'll see.
I think that gets added to Saturday night's main event, because they're going to at least need one women's match on that show.
True. Okay. Hey, but they got a lot of championships being defended that night, so.
Yeah. David Foster saying Asuka turning on Kairi at Evolution or right after Evolution to set up Asuka Io. I can see after Evolution. I don't see why she would turn on her at Evolution, even if they lose. That feels like too soon.
I kind of want to see the Kabuki Warriors shine for a little bit. Like
Yeah.
they don't got to win on Sunday, but I think eventually they should take those titles off of them and help legitimize this women's tag division because they need it. They need it. And
yeah, I think the best women's tag team champions has been either Liv Raquel or the Golden Role Models, Bayley and Sasha Banks, or the Kabuki Warriors.
damn, you just left out Jade and Bianca purposely.
Yeah.
I caught that.
If you wanted me to put them in there would be a big gap in between those three champions and Liv and Jade and Bianca. They were good. They're like an A tier, B tier, but I'm talking about the S tier, which is I'm pushing it with with one of these teams. But I think the Kabuki Warriors, Golden Role Models, and the one I'm pushing is Liv and Raquel because they've had it so many times.
Yeah, no, it's all legit. I just want to point out the complete lack of respect for the continued circle of what we continued on last week. Yeah.
Chilling with Jay says Charlotte and Sol Ruka in the same ring. The levels of fucks Charlotte ain't gonna give against her gonna be hilarious. Can only imagine.
This could be a really train wreck of a match, or this could be really good.
It could be really fun, or it could be a train wreck. You're absolutely right. It's no in between.
One or the other. It's not going to be like a mid-tier match. This is going to be really good or really awful.
Jackie Redmond is backstage with Sami Zayn about everything he's been going through as of late and what Braun Breaker had to say. Zayn says that he has too much on his plate right now and that he couldn't focus on his ribs or Karrion Kross, even though he could be around the corner at any point, because he has Braun Breaker to deal with later tonight. He talks about how Braun had a lot to say, and he'll be able to say it to his face in their matchup later tonight. Then, as Sami walks out of the frame, walks in Scarlett, who is asked by Jackie Redmond, does she have anything to say? And she simply says no, while stalking Sami Zayn as he walks off camera. We get more of that a little bit later. Nice ominous stuff. I like the fact that they're using Scarlett now a little bit more, with her getting involved in the attack that we would see later, and then this little tease for what Karrion had planned in the show later on. And she got a huge pop as well. Did you hear the pop for her too? Absolutely. She got the Karrion Kross pop.
Oh yeah, listen, I'd pop for her too.
Hey, I'm not talking about all that. I'm not talking about all that.
Trust me, I'm saying it respectfully. I'm saying it as a fan cheering. I don't want that smoke. I saw what that motherfucker did to 2 baseball bats with his legs. Yeah, ain't none of our body parts as strong as 2 baseball bats. So I'm good. I know my place. I'm a fan. Smart man.
During the ad break commercial, we get the former WWE World Tag Team Champions, The New Day, who come out in full black clothing like they're showing up at a funeral. Xavier and Kofi talk about how the Raw Tag Team division died last week, June 30th, 2025, because they lost the World Tag Team Championships against the Judgment Day. The two said that the wrong will be righted when they find Adam Pearce later tonight and demand their rematch for the World Tag Team titles, and that they so deserved it. They says that and they know that these people in Providence can't understand because they're from the butt crack of Boston. So they would do what they always do, and that's persevere. So they said that they should thank God for that and thank God for the New Day. we would see the New Day finally catch up with good old GM Pierce later on in the show, while the War Raiders were asking for a shot at the World Tag Team titles themselves. They confronted Pierce and accused Pierce of helping kill the tag division last week. But Pierce denies it. They said that they want to find out when they'll get their shot at the World Tag Team titles. But War Raiders brought up that when the New Day were champions, they said that everyone must earn their shot at the tag team titles. So what makes them so different? In walks Becky Lynch, who passed the scene and told the New Day that they sorry for your loss, and they was like, he's a tyrant. She agrees with the New Day that Adam Pearce is an evil man, and then she thanks the New Day for what they did to Big E and says that was a good idea. She was like, she never liked him.
Yeah.
Which is awesome because everyone knows Becky and Big E are like really good friends, which is awesome.
Yeah. and then you hear go, that's why you the man.
It was so good. Becky owns New Day. New Day's making the most of losing these tag team titles. I have no more energy to rant over it. We posted our THH cut from last week's Rated Raw review of us ranting about them losing the tag team titles.
And you know what? And I think they carried that energy into Raw because they're in mourning. Yeah. They're in mourning. They just suffered the death of their run.
Dion said, man, I can't believe how far Kofi has fallen. How far the New Day has fallen. How dare you, WWE? How dare you?
They literally had the chance to have a self-made rocket put on their backs, but they just turned their ears off completely. And legitimately back there just said New Day sucks.
Sad what they do to our boys. Adam Pearce is also backstage.
So right. If you didn't see this shit live, you would not have seen that segment.
Oh no.
Because
I would have missed that. I would have missed that segment completely.
You just see like 3.5 minutes zip. Like it zips. You can't even like go in between it because Netflix just automatically clips the breaks.
Yeah.
They just clip it. They don't even keep it on there, which is so fucked up.
You can't even like, even if you like you turn on the show, like say the show, the show airs at 8 p.m. Eastern. If you turn on the show at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, it still skips the breaks.
It will still skip. It will skip it until it's live. What a fucking joke. What a fucking joke. Like what is so precious about those couple of minutes just leaving them on there and just letting the shit run? I guess they're giving people some level of urgency to watch it live.
Yeah. Pretty much that's what they're doing. We got Adam Pearce in his office. He spoke with American Made regarding El Grande Americano competing tonight. Julius Creed said that this was impossible, and Brutus Creed agreed because he says that Chad Gable was still out injured. But he got shouted down by Julius and Ivy when Pearce was questioning, like, why would Chad Gable's condition have anything to do with El Grande Americano? And Ivy then asks about being in the Women's Battle Royal at Evolution, and Pearce agrees to it, so she's in. And speaking of which, we would get a Nikki Bella vignette after this, where she announced that after her encounter with Liv Morgan, that she has been motivated to step back into the ring, so she will be part of the Women's Battle Royal at Evolution for a championship opportunity at Clash in Paris next month. What did you think about American Made backstage with Adam Pearce and Ivy getting into the Women's Battle Royal, as well as Brutus Creed almost snitching on his boy and Nikki Bella's vignette?
Bruh, this is why This is why the Creed brothers don't talk. This is why these niggas don't talk, bro. Like they are just like the epitome of two stupid fools. They're just bad friends. Like they are bad friends. Like those are not good friends at all. Like first of all, if when Chad Gable comes back, he needs to fire both of them.
Yes.
Like because nah. One thing you not gonna do is accidentally snitch on me. Like that is like
how we accidentally snitching?
Like how you gonna accidentally snitch, bro? Like that doesn't even make sense. Like how you gonna question one man's in-ring match and then talk about another man being injured, and then this is a question that everybody's had for months, and you don't think that people are just gonna put one and one together? I mean, come on, you're ruining kayfabe. Like you're even ruining kayfabe. Like you're bad friends. You're bad friends because you're ruining kayfabe even. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, what are you doing? This is why y'all don't talk. Ivy now, from now on, should do all the talking for these two buffoons. And I'm calling them both buffoons because his brother or his tag team partner is literally just standing there just watching him say all this dumb shit. That's a bad friend too.
Yeah. Not good.
But the Nikki Bella thing, yeah, it happened. Yeah, she's fearless and she'll do whatever it takes.
She's fearless.
Yeah,
I fought my whole career.
Literally
did these things.
It's the same fucking promo from 2018, from 2017, from 2020, from Evolution when they first had the first pay-per-view. The Bella Army is going to be behind her and blah blah blah. Yep.
Yep.
It literally is copy paste from every other inspirational promo that she's delivered. So yeah, it happened.
I was like, we really couldn't find anything else for Nikki to do. Just throw her into the Battle Royal.
Good. Just put her in the fucking Battle Royal. Just throw her in there with 24 other women and just call it a day. Just count your L's and call it a day.
Dion says, I think Nikki Bella will win and face Rhea or Io at Clash. I think it's too soon for Stephanie to win because I don't see her winning the title this soon.
So if Nikki Bella wins a fucking Battle Royal that Stephanie Vaquer is in, I am going to root so hard against Nikki Bella in any championship match that she's in. You're going to think I hate her.
Who you said? Stephanie Vaquer? You mean Stephanie Vaquer?
Stephanie Vaquer. Nah. I mean, you know what? And I hate the fact that you're not totally wrong. Is that it could possibly really happen.
Yeah.
Like this is a real possibility. So I don't dislike the comment. I dislike that potential result.
The idea.
It's really impossible.
He's like, I dislike the idea. You're not wrong, but I dislike the idea, what you're going on, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, the music of Sami Zayn hits. He makes his way down to the ring for his match with Braun Breaker. But out of nowhere comes Karrion Kross to a huge pop from these fans. God damn. I was like, these people love Karrion Kross. He attacks him from behind. He then gets a lead pipe from Scarlett, and he smashes the injured ribs of Zayn. Referees led by Adam Pearce got Kross to back off the fight and pulled him away. During the ad break, we see Sami refusing to back out of his upcoming matchup. He tries to go back to the ring, but he starts coughing again and selling the ribs. So the referees then escort him to the back. He then refuses to get escorted to the back and eventually gets back into the ring. Adam Pearce gets into the ring with him and tries to talk him out of it. The trainers basically said that if he wants to wrestle, he can. He's cleared. And Zayn says, of course, he wants to wrestle despite Pearce trying to protest. He said, it's on you. And this leads to to the music of Braun Breaker hitting, and out comes his opponent, who looks even more pissed than he did earlier in the show, as is Sami Zayn, who's very much not in any condition to fight. Breaker seemed to relish what appeared to be an easy match ahead of him. He started just battering and targeting the injured ribs of Sami with shoulder thrusts that crumbled him to the mat. He then ripped away at Sami's tape around his ribs and started attacking him viciously, stomping at him, driving knees to his exposed ribs. He powered him up for a bit. Breaker lifted Sami up and then threw him across the ring with a suplex. He then targeted him for a big spear, but Sami was able to intercept him with a big lariat. Sami then tried to follow up and create some separation for him. Zayn, with adrenaline pumping through his veins, he then comes off the top rope. He hits a big double axe handle, and then he tries to follow up with another high risk move, but it's over from there. Bron catches him with a big O spear in midair. Then Sami rolls out of the ring. So Breaker turns red with his eyes just completely going like crazy as he heads out, and he delivers the super spear all the way across the ring to the badly injured Zayn on the outside. Breaker then rolls Sami back into the ring. He pulls down his straps and he delivers one last big super spear after running the ropes a few times to put Zayn away. 1, 2, 3. Braun Breaker defeats Sami Zayn and absolutely destroyed him with those 3 spears after the pre-match beatdown by Karrion Kross. This was more of an angle than an actual match, but it made Braun feel like an absolute beast, as he should. It really was effective in making Braun look like this dangerous, unhinged monster who will just basically eat the prey regardless of how much healthy or not they are in. So I loved it here. And then JJ, I just have to bring up this backstage segment, because this backstage segment was great. As we would go backstage to the group, to the Seth Riders, as Braun Breaker is back there now with Bronson Reed and Seth Rollins. Braun Breaker actually shows like he's upset, and Seth wants to know what's going on. And Breaker basically shows some insecurity as he says that now he's upset because he feels that people will give Karrion Kross most of the credit for what he did, and he wants all the credit for destroying Sami Zayn. This made him come off sympathetic yet absolutely unhinged all at the same time. This character work from Braun in this episode was absolutely exceptional, and I thought this segment in itself did a great job. It was just a couple of seconds, but it did an effective job of further establishing this new character thread for Braun Breaker. But then his mood would change when solemn Paul Heyman walked into the locker room and let the Seth Riders know that Sami Zayn is out indefinitely, which led to Braun Breaker laughing uproariously with Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed before Rollins told Bronson that he has to deal with Jey Uso in similar fashion. This has probably been the best night for the Seth Riders so far. What did you think of Braun versus Sami, the attack by Karrion Kross beforehand, and the backstage segment with the Seth Riders?
First of all, let's start from the beginning. With Karrion Kross coming out, I would have almost made a mistake that was the OTC that came out. Based off that motherfucking reaction, my God. Like, yo, you would have thought Roman was back in the motherfucking building. And this is so great for him. This is so great for him because how the fuck can y'all continuously ignore this and not put this man on weekly TV? They have put him on weekly TV, but now it's almost like, yeah, let the fans dictate this and get more of this man on screen. And then once that little break happened, unfortunately, if you didn't see it live, that interview, my God, the
We're gonna
Thunder
talk about that later.
Sheesh. Just connecting, like, my God. Like, yo, you would thought this was like his hometown or something. like it was explosive. And then the match, obviously Sami Zayn, this is, you could see it coming. This is to his own dumb doing. Like, he just doesn't know how to give up. He's such a good guy. He's such a hero, and he's gonna do what's right all the time. And Bron Breakker was amazing. Like, this match was amazing. Like, this was not a match. This was a mauling, and this was fantastic. Oh my God. I loved every second of this because Bron Breakker made Sami Zayn regret accepting the match. And that is what's supposed to happen when you are down and you still want to fight somebody this badass. You are going to pay for it, sir. And that's exactly what you did. You paid for it, sir. You had Michael Cole on commentary screaming for the match to end like that was his son being beaten out there.
Like, Michael Cole did a great. He did not do a good job later in the show with one of his matches, but this match he was great. He was great.
Like he added so much to this match to, like, yo, you really started feeling like, yo, damn, they really need to, like, call this shit. Like, they need to call this shit because Sammy's not even trying. Like, he's just there taking a beating. Like, his body is just there. And after those 3 spears and then hitting him with the super one in the ring, was like, yo. And then the fucking backstage segment afterwards, and how how he did all of that damage and still showed like this vulnerable side of insecurity of him not being able to get the job done on his own. Like, yo, Bron, this was Bron's episode tonight. Like, Bron was amazing in this Raw tonight. Like, and then this part I did like with Seth Rollins is him looking at Bronson Reed like, the fuck you so happy about? Like, you last time I checked, Jey Uso is completely healthy, my guy. Like, completely healthy. That man doesn't have a scar on him. And then Bronson gave him the appropriate response. But that part I did really enjoy from Seth. But yeah, Paul Heyman came like he just lost a friend and then just gave him the fantastic news that Sami Zayn is getting a well-deserved vacation. So this was like almost most of the stuff that involved this group tonight was fucking great.
Yeah. For all the hassle that I gave Seth for the opening segment, he was really good in this backstage segment. But we got the question in the headline, so I gotta ask you it now because it came out on bodyslam.net on their Patreon, which has been dropping a lot of scoops as of late, that WWE's long-term plan is reportedly for Bron Breakker to turn on Seth Rollins, which, if you've been watching, that seems pretty obvious. It's noted that this turn is expected to be a long way off, but that when it happens, it is expected to be explosive, with Paul Heyman siding with Breakker. WWE reportedly see Breakker as the future of the WWE main event scene, which, after this episode, I see the vision clearly, and I don't think it should be a long way off. I think after WrestleMania 42, you pull the trigger. That's the longest that I'm willing to wait for it, because Triple H has a tendency to drag things out way too long, and when it's past its expiration date. But Bron Breakker is already showing the signs here that he is ready for this main event push, and this was like a real step forward type of episode for him. So my question to you, Top Guy JJ, is when do you think will Bron Breakker turn on Seth Rollins?
I kind of think it's gonna be after WrestleMania. I think it's gonna be after WrestleMania, and the reason being is because I think Bron is gonna have a chip to make this happen, and I think Seth Rollins needs to become champion. getting where I'm going. I think Braun Breaker needs to win Money in the Bank next year. And I think Braun Breaker needs to pull the trigger on Seth Rollins. And then Paul Heyman sides with the new champion. Like, I do see this dragging out for a long time because I love the idea of them establishing them as a dominant group that doesn't look like they're gonna break up like any week now.
Yeah,
like
because I was taken aback by the fact that we're actually seeing dissension kind of form in the group before they even have a fucking name. That was kind of crazy to me at first. But I loved Braun's performance throughout the night that I kind of just washed away that nitpick. And
right. Yeah, totally. And I think when this happens, I think it needs to be a really massive crowning moment for Braun Breaker. I don't think it should just be like a moment that just happens, like a turn that just happens. I think it needs to be capped off with something really big. And what bigger way to crown off a turn on him is by taking something that he has created this group for, which was that championship. And then Braun and Heyman takes that from Seth.
I can see that.
So that's just what I would love that to happen, because then this would give us about a year of these guys together. And then we could see how dominant they could become. And then it's just kind of like now, once that WrestleMania season hits, you're yearning for it. You start to see the chinks in the armor. You start to see it start to happen. And then once Braun feels that little taste of power with that briefcase, then he wants it all. He wants it all. And he wants it by himself.
He wants to be on top. They said he's the future, and he says, I'm the now.
Yeah, that's just what I would love to see. Now, will WWE go ahead and do something that is that positive? I'm not sure.
We got a super chat donation here from Chuck Berries. Thank you so much, Chuck Berries, for the support. Who is mocking Braun Breaker, who started singing Sami Zayn, Sami Zayn. Breaker was like, "Shut your dumb asses up." LOL. Love this from him. He showed so much personality and range. He went from this kind of just barking kind of security or bodyguard for the group to like a well-dimensional, well-layered character all in this one show. And where he showed his unhinged side, how dangerous he can be, how he's actually really insecure as well because he's so young in his career, which him showing insecurity makes him both sympathetic and so much more terrifying all at the same time.
Facts. And you know, one thing that we kind of like undersold during the match itself is the level of character that Braun showed during this match.
He's pathetic. He's a bum.
Like, are you serious? This is what y'all cheering? This? He's a bum. like he was so great. Like that was main event performer right there. This, if him adding the character on top of his badass wrestling style, bro, the sky is the fucking limit for this guy, man. Like, oh man, character on top of that, that's man shit. Love it, fucking love it.
So what Jay says, this episode with the Seth Riders felt like a vintage Evolution night. Good comparison there. We also got a super chat donation from Dion Jenkins. Thank you so much, Dion, for the support. He says Kross's chances of getting re-signed just went up. Yeah, with that reaction, it's like, WWE, what the hell are you waiting for? We better hear about this in the next couple of weeks that he's re-signed.
They're not letting him go. I think at the longest part, the thing that's going to take the longest is the duration and the money. Like, they're not going to let him go. They're not going to let him go. Like, no. They're not going to let him, especially with other company. They're not going to let him go. They are not going to let that man go off to AEW. There's no way in hell, because AEW would not only give that man a bag, they will put that man in a prominent spot from night one. Like No, they are. If they somehow fuck this up, this would be super colossal because he's literally an ace waiting to be played. He's an ace waiting to be played, and they're not going to let that go. They're not letting that go. It's just going to take time because they got to figure out the years and the money.
Yeah. We got Chiller with Chase. It says, sorry, SP3, you will see the payoff at Mania 43, and Triple H will say, it's what we do. It's what we do.
I hate that that's a chance to be true.
It is.
A year too late. A year too late when all the steam is gone and people are clamoring for another story. And then we'll probably get like The Rock and Roman at WrestleMania 44 when The Rock could barely move.
Big Randall says, I think Seth is just the temporary leader to heat up the guys Paul actually cares about. Yes, this seems like the whole theme of this faction is it's a vehicle to make Braun Breaker into a main event star, which I'm fine with. I'm fine with that more than propping up Seth Rollins and all of his weaknesses as a heel.
Yeah, but I think even Seth Rollins said that he doesn't have as many years left in wrestling. Like he wants to hang it up while he's still healthy. Like he's not gonna he probably got maybe 3 to 5 years left. Like he's not gonna be around very, very long. Like this is a great setup. It's a great setup.
Good. We did with the Adam Pearce segment, and then we would get the man Becky Lynch following her interaction with the New Day. We got Becky Lynch coming out to the ring to talk about her Evolution triple threat matchup for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lynch wanted an explanation how two losers got a title match in a scenario where they last week their chances to get a shot should have been eliminated because they both lost. They both pinned each other, and how her chances of losing her championship were far greater. She says that she got why Adam Pearce put her in this match, but not why she had to face Bayley or Lyra Valkyria again. Lynch claimed that Bayley and Lyra were working together to get this shot, but before she could elaborate any further, the music of Bayley hits to interrupt, and walked out the former WWE Women's Champion. But before she made it to the ring, Bayley was interrupted by Lyra Valkyria, who stormed out and marched right past Bayley. She gets into the ring, and Lyra says that her title was wrapped around a bucket full of crazy, and it was about time to take it back. Bayley charges into the ring and says that she could have been the Women's Intercontinental Champion if it wasn't for Lyra's intervention. Bayley said that if she learned anything from WrestleMania, is that she didn't need friendships or heartbreak. All she did need was the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Lyra says that Bayley is finally exposing what she's really been after, that it doesn't matter what they were able to build and connect with each other over, that she's always worried about the championship, and that she's just as bad as Becky because of what she just admitted. And she was out to rescue the Women's Intercontinental Championship from two massive disappointments at Evolution 2. Becky says, are you going to let her talk to Bayley? He's like, are you going to let her talk to you like that? And Bayley says that how she watched Valkyria from all her moments of glory. She was in the front row when she won the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship. She was on the apron when they earned their spot for her to become a double champion at WrestleMania. She watched it all. She even watched her beat Becky Lynch one-on-one to retain that same title. But then she watched her lose the Intercontinental Championship to Becky and raise her hand like a little bitch. This led to Lyra taking exception, and she tried to punch at Bayley, but ended up hitting Becky instead. A brawl breaks out between the two baby faces, which leads to Becky coming in after Lyra takes Bayley out of the ring. Lyra lays out Becky with the Nightwing, and then Bayley tries to come back in with the Rose Plant, but Lyra's able to reverse her, and she hits the Nightwing on Bayley as well. She walks over to a fallen Lynch and mockingly raises her hand, stating that it would be the last time she ever raised her hand again. Very good segment. They really build this one very well. This is the best build going into Evolution because the story has made sense the entire way. I wish they would have made more of a show and less of like an online announcement for the triple threat being made. I wish that Adam Pearce would have just came out last week as they were brawling to make it official that this was a triple threat instead of announcing it on social media. I hate that they do that nowadays, but this was very effective go home segment, and I like the fact Lyra stood tall because I don't think anybody was expecting her to win on Sunday. So it either is going to be either Bayley winning or Becky retaining, and I thought all the characters came off well here. And Bayley, that was probably her best promo since her return.
Raw is cooking tonight. I'm not, this all three of them in their own ways was really good. It's almost now like Lyra is starting to realize it ain't about friends. It's about money and championships.
Exactly.
And then the more she is intertwined with these competitors and at this level, she's going to start to see that more. And honestly, I think when her heel turn comes, it's going to be pretty damn big. Like, I think because she's going to snap. Like, she's one of those characters that she has that demeanor that she could just start fucking shit up. And she's got like a move set. Like, that through the rope pump drop kick is. Woo!
She came out with all the speed on that one.
Bro, like, I was like, that is a heel ass move right there, bro. But Bayley hit her with the punchline of the night, bro.
Yes.
Like hit her with that punchline, and I'm like, bro, this is a story, but that was a fighting words in real life. You raised her hand like a little bitch.
I was like, God, she said it with she hit that line with so much delivery. Yes, so much delivery. She said it with her chest. I love it.
I was like, damn, that shit was wow. And then Becky being the antagonist, turning into like that how it was when I think it was a long time ago when I think it was the Miz beefing with somebody and it was John Cena. Yeah. Like, you gonna let him talk to you like that? Oh, he said that about you? Oh, nah, you ain't gonna let him disrespect you like that. And then it just got them into a fight. Like, I was like,
well done, Becky. That's my goal.
Yeah, this was
excellent. And also, I forgot to mention, she did mention me again. So thank you, Becky. Thank you. Always appreciate the G-Pod.
Yes, mentioned in that article. Hell yeah. But this was great, man. Like, this show is cooking. Like, this show is cooking, yo. Like, this was a great go home segment. Like you said, like, it would have been nice to get that announcement of the show on the show, of the match on the show. But when I'm getting segments like this, like, I'm not gonna be too mad at it because this, even without getting the online announcement, you knew this match was happening. Yeah, and it's kind of like they delivered it that well. Like this man, like the best that these three have looked together, period, so far.
Do you think that this matchup deserves to main event Evolution over the others?
It won't, but it's gonna.
I know it won't, but does it deserve to main event?
Does it deserve? I'm gonna say no. I'm going to say no because a women's champion should headline this show. Like, a women's champion should headline the show. Like, and I'm not going to sit there and try to take that away, even though the other two builds are lesser than. But this is an all women's pay-per-view, and their major headline champions should headline the show. And even though the two headline champions are not going to have as good a match as this triple threat will be, like, match-wise, this will probably be the match of the night. But as far as champion and like importance of what they want these two titles to be, the world champion and the women's champion, it can't.
That's fair. I don't think it's gonna main event. That's why I wanted to ask.
Yeah, it shouldn't main event. Like truthfully, it really.
I think it's earned the right to main event because it is the best build heading in.
Yeah,
I think that everybody is playing the right type of character. Becky with her kind of just egotistical, instigating ways. Bayley, who kind of feels like she's been disregarded and disrespected. Lyra, who's trying to earn respect and feels neglected by Bayley and betrayed by Becky. I think everybody's hitting the right note with what their character direction is. And the feud has layers that the world title matchup nor the WWE women's title matchup have.
Absolutely, 1,000%. This is the main event storyline because the other two matches were just put together. Yeah. But just off of title sake, they're not gonna main event. Like they're not gonna put the women's intercontinental champion over both women's world champions. They're just not gonna do that.
Which is fair. That's fair. Next up was the next chapter in the Seth Riders versus the top baby faces on Raw, as you had Bronson Reed one-on-one with Jey Uso. Jey was on offense early on. He rocked Reed in a corner with a kick. He attempted an Irish whip, but was countered as Reed used his power to gain control. Uso dodged a senton from Reed and kept up the attack with punches and kick that sent Reed to the outside. He hits a tope suicida on Reed, which causes him to go over the announce table. Uso cleared the commentary table, but he got met by a recovering Reed. A super kick by Uso caused Reed to be seated on one of the chairs at the commentary table long enough for another super kick. Inside the ring, Uso goes for another tope suicida, but when he goes for it, Bronson Reed meets him with the same chair he was sitting in. He tosses it at Jey Uso's head for the disqualification. Inside the ring, though, Reed continues the attack after the DQ. He goes to the top rope and he hits one tsunami. But then he follows up. He goes back to the top rope and he hits a second. Adam Pearce and personnel stopped him from continuing the assault. He only is able to hit two tsunamis, as commentary says that he tsunamied respect into Jey Uso here. This was not an actual match quite like the Braun Breaker and Sami Zayn. It did put over Bronson Reed as this overpowering monster, but I would have liked more tsunamis. I think if he hits two more tsunamis, I think this is a perfect angle to put across Bronson Reed's threat in the similar fashion that they did with Braun Breaker, or at least three. At least three makes more sense because he hit three on LA Knight, and LA Knight was at least out for a week. And especially seeing that Jey takes two and then he walks out on his own record, it didn't feel quite as effective as the Braun Breaker angle, but it did the job for the most part here. What did you think?
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Like that's what I was under the impression that through everybody, he was going to hit a third. I thought he was just going to climb that top and just jump and just hit a third. And then they would have like vehemently stopped him from doing a fourth. But that third one would have been, they need to carry him out. The two gave him the ability to walk out. So like it message sent-ish. Like sent-ish. Because Jey will be at Friday Night SmackDown and or Saturday Night's main event this week. He will not be out of action for any time. He will be back and he will be there. So this message was, I like the term that they use, like warning shot. Yeah. It was like a warning shot. And so it was like they tried to mask it, but the message should have been louder than what was delivered. Especially after what Braun Breaker did to Sami Zayn. And if they wanted that plan to look like it was really coming into, 3 at minimum should have been hit, and then the third one would have caused a little bit of blood to come out of his mouth, which is a signature for the internal bleeding. Yeah. So something should have happened to really hurt Jey Uso, but nothing happened to hurt Jey Uso.
Exactly. Like that's what I was like. He's got to hit a third. Like, and the fact that it wasn't really, like you said, it wasn't really like the referees and officials who were pulling him away. It was more like, yeah, he was just sending a warning shot, and that he just did his 2, and he felt like he did his job when he really didn't.
And I thought when he was kind of, and this was like crazy booking thinking by me, like when he was getting walked to the back, I really thought that possibly like Bronson would have like hit him with like a running like belly attack or some shit.
Yeah,
knocked him off the apron, did like a tsunami off the fucking stage or some shit. My God, do you understand how crazy that shit would have been if he would have fucking hit him with a tsunami off the stage? Jey Uso's now out of action.
Yeah,
but now he walked out and walked basically on his own power and is wincing a little bit, but he basically just safe skated to the back. It kind of felt incomplete.
So Jey doesn't have Sami, who's out indefinitely. Do you think they might do at SummerSlam Jey, Jimmy, and Roman versus the Seth Riders?
I mean, Roman is. I'm expecting Roman to come back Saturday.
You think Saturday he's coming back?
Yeah, because I think they're gonna really like. If you see the way they're stacking the Saturday night's main event card, they're trying to make this a big show, and
because they want to take the headlines from All In.
They're desperately going to try to compete with All In. So I do think that the OTC does return on Saturday. Because now he has to be in the program to build this thing that if it happens, this is going to need to take like a week or 2 to manifest itself. Like Jey needs to be in some kind of trouble, and the OTC comes out because Sami's now gone. You got Penta that is either going to be busy or he's like an ally, but he's not going to be enough. Yeah. He's not going to be enough to deal with that. And then LA Knight, I'm expecting LA Knight to get his on Saturday. I'm expecting LA Knight to get like the shit kicked out of him and to really get what he had coming, because he's got the better of this man for damn near a month straight. like LA Knight's got to get his at some point. Like he can't keep escaping. So when he gets his, Sami gets his, Penta gets his, somebody's got to make the crowd happy.
I can see that. We got Dion who says, I think Punk and Rollins aren't finished, but maybe they do Punk versus Gunther. Seth cashes in. Then maybe Punk versus Seth, Hell in a Cell to wrap up the feud. Yeah, they probably will do that in the fall. I don't think Punk and Rollins are done yet, and you could hear the crowd are saying that as well. Yeah, but done. I think Seth is going to be positioned against Roman in some way, whether it's a trios matchup or one-on-one at SummerSlam. And yeah, Punk will face Gunther at SummerSlam. We said that last week.
Yeah. And it's fresh. It's something that would be a nice change of pace. It's something that I think CM Punk could use. So he can kind of expand the character a bit, and because kind of revisiting the same thing with Seth Rollins over and over and over and over and over. It's like, how much material do you have for this man? Like there needs to be something bigger on the line for these two to keep going at each other. Like grudge matches, they've grudge matched each other out.
For 6 months now.
Like there's no need for it to keep being grudge matches. Like something's got to be on the line. It's got to involve other people. And I think at some point, like, you got to give CM Punk like a moment in the sun. Like CM Punk has got, even if it's for a few minutes, like CM Punk has got to hold the championship. Like CM Punk has got to hold the championship at least once, even if it gets cashed in on him 10 minutes later. Like CM Punk has got to get that at least once.
We then heard from LA Knight, the aforementioned LA Knight, ahead of his matchup with Seth Rollins at Saturday night's main event. Says that he is going after the Seth Riders and he's been taking them out one by one. And he now lands on Seth Rollins, who's running scared, and he would find him in the ring on Saturday night because he is the megastar. He is LA Knight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was fine. It was fine. I think the better build for Saturday is what we would get later on in the show. So, but
yeah, that was nothing.
Do you want to talk about a great piece of business when it comes to a video package? This Io Sky Rhea Ripley video package. Oh my god, this is one of the best video packages they've had in a long time. Michael Cole and Corey Graves take it over to that, where we hear from Rhea Ripley talking about her rivalry with Io Sky and how she's never been able to beat her. And then we see highlights of their match from the Mae Young Classic in 2018, where Io beat Rhea for the first time. We see a clip from their matchup for the NXT Women's Championship from 2020, where Io beat her again. We see from March when Io beat her for the WWE Women's World Championship, and then WrestleMania where she picked up the win yet again against Rhea and Bianca. We see the tag team matchup from May when Rhea first was staring at the Women's World Championship. We saw them holding the Women's World title on either side, which was all the way back in like January, where this a real extended rivalry between these two women really began this year, and now it all culminates on Sunday at WWE Evolution. And the question is, can Rhea Ripley finally defeat Io Sky? This was excellent. This was WWE 101, where they can put together a video package and make this seem like one of the greatest rivalries ever. They kind of did the similar thing ahead of Rhea Ripley and Raquel Rodriguez at Night of Champions, where they had only been really feuding or reignited their feud like a couple of weeks before the show, but then they showed all the clips of them being friends from NXT, so it's looked like they feuded nonstop for the last like 7 years. And this one, they made it seem like they had been feuding for 7 years, despite only having those few matches in NXT and the Mae Young Classic. But really, this extended feud that started at the beginning of the year and now culminates what should be. And I said this, like I said, I actually the question earlier about Becky, Bayley, and Lyra, because this after this video package, I was like, there's no question, this is the main event for Sunday.
This is the main event for Sunday, and this is why that triple threat can't. This is why the triple threat can't, because, you know, Rhea Ripley, without question, is still the biggest star in WWE for women.
Very true.
And questionably, the entire company. But yeah, this, especially in a moment like this, especially if Rhea is going to finally pull this off, it's got to be in the main event. It's got to be in the main event. And this match will compete with the triple threat for being match of the night. Like, because this match is going to be really, really good as well, because they put on some really good matches. Now, clearly, everybody's going to ignore Tiffany and Trish, because nobody should really be expecting much out of that. Like, it should just be like a fun, like, homage moment match, and you might get like 2 minutes of good shit, and then it's going to be over, and Tiffany's going to retain, and no one changes anything about anything. You might get Naomi coming out to threaten, but other than that, very uneventful on that side. But the two eventful moments is going to be that triple threat for the Intercontinental and for the Women's World Championship between Io and Rhea.
Yeah. This was a great video package. I love this video package so much.
This was really
David.
They've done that. Yeah, this was really good.
David Foster says, in the same video package, Rhea needs to find a way to finally defeat Io, while also Io is gutsy to challenge a woman who has never beat her. They are somehow both the underdogs. WWE loves to do that. If it's two baby faces, either one is the underdog in the scenario to them.
They both have to overcome obstacles.
Yeah. the most dominant female in history, but she's never beaten the.
I mean,
like,
it's good on them that they put the video package together because they had a whole week and a half to fucking build this entire match. You know.
Yeah, and they did that lazy ass segment last week to set it up, so they had to try somewhere. Next up, we had El Grande Americano after his surgery that made him taller and skinnier. He's going one-on-one with Dragon Lee. Cole pointed out how this El Grande Americano was a foot taller than the other one. We got a back and forth of lucha libre action between the two men until Lee and El Grande decided to have a stalemate. Things turned to Lee's advantage when he hits a crossbody for a near fall. El Grande got Lee in a nice arm drag as he showed off after landing on his feet off of a lead monkey flip. This opened things up with Lee hitting a big kick, who attempted to take flight then. El Grande intercepted him with a kick to the face as he continued the attack by throwing Lee over the timekeeper's area and screaming out in German, not Spanish. The action resumed with El Grande and Lee fighting on the top rope. Lee caught El Grande with a sit-out powerbomb for a near fall. As El Grande was down and out, Lee tried to rip away. It was El Grande tried to rip away at Lee's mask, so Lee returned the favor, but to no avail. Lee took advantage with a vaulting kick over the top rope, rocking El Grande. Lee followed up with a running dropkick, but couldn't get the win, only getting a 2 count. El Grande chopped Lee and connected with a springboard blockbuster for a near fall. Lee fought out of El Grande's grip and trapped him in the tree of woe. He then came down with a double stomp on El Grande. Lee then took fight with a flight to the dive to the outside that connected. When he throws El Grande back into the ring, he appears to slip something in his mask. Lee eventually misses another double stomp, and El Grande meets him with a flying steel-assisted headbutt, laying him out 1, 2, 3. El Grande Americano picks up the win over Dragon Lee once again. This was another solid matchup here. The in-ring action on this show was at least enjoyable for the most part. I'll just say it. I'm not feeling Ludwig in this role as El Grande Americano. This was much better with the other guy. But what did you think? Dragon Lee was good here.
Props to Dragon Lee because he tried. He really tried. Like, he really tried to make this something. But my God. This tall, fucking boomerang standing, stiff luchador. No. This ain't it. This ain't it, cuz. Like, we don't need no 6'5" luchadors trying to do shit that they are so out of place in. Like, dog, this nigga was standing like Ludwig Kaiser. Like, this nigga was doing the measuring before the match started. There's only one person in the entire company that stands like him. There's no one else that stands like him. So when you start the match standing like that, it is just like, why? Just why? Just fucking why? Like, you gotta want to get the man on TV, get the man a match, and blah blah blah. And he got a victory. He actually got a victory. Like, props to him for that. But yeah, this is gonna be rough. Usually when you see Grande Americano, it's usually kind of like a chill moment for the night. It's kind of one of those kind of we could have fun with, but this was like, I can't even. This was kind of not a midpoint, but this was a whatever point of the night for me.
I understand. Power Finisher says, plain and simple, the shtick is funny and 100% gets over with the crowd. This company cannot possibly know what the fuck to do with it for the sake of any of these wrestlers, but record profits, right?
This was bad.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling this.
This was bad. Like
it was fine match, but
at least with Chad, like he has like a different move set. His arsenal was really good. Like he adapted really well. Like you know what? Ludwig will prove me really wrong if he does a reverse 630.
I can see that.
Not even 630. Let's just do a 450. Can we just do a 450?
I gotta run real quick, but I want to say this segment and then hear your thoughts on it. As Penta was preparing for his match with Seth Rollins later, he was confronted by Paul Heyman and Braun Breaker. Penta remained fearless and told the two zero mero, and Braun says the awesome line. He was like, "What is that? 3 up, 3 down? What is this, baseball?" How good is Braun Breaker?
Yo, he was on a roll. Like this man could just not. He did just things that this man had a special night. Like this man had a special night, and the fact that he was on TV, what was it? Maybe 4 or 5 times, and every single time he appeared on TV, it just didn't disappoint whatsoever. And it was something kind of like goofy and different each time he spoke. Like, oh my God, this was just so reminiscent of Big Papa Pump, man. Like, and just the ability just to say shit off the top of the dome. You could tell this is unscripted as fuck, because this man, they can't make a script that has those words in it. Like this man is built differently, and hopefully this is something that continues, because I fucking love this guy. I love this guy in this state. Like this guy in this state is fucking magical. But man, I don't understand why this motherfucker is now doing this. Like, but it's like we were clamoring for this for so long, but it's like, you know what? Better late than never.
Yeah.
Better late than never. And he's doing it. And he's doing it well.
You know who I think is a key here? He's been under Paul Heyman directly for 3 months now. This is the Paul Heyman touch, 100%, which is elevate and basically highlight the strengths and then hide all the weaknesses. And he's doing a great job of that. And he's now gaining that confidence as a character to show more depth and show more layers to everything. And that's why we got the night that we got from Bron here.
Special night for him.
And I know there's another segment you wanted to talk about, because we would get during the ad break, we would hear from Karrion Kross. And oh my God, this pop, this reaction, this roar from the Providence crowd, who just roar when they see Karrion Kross and then just get into the loudest, "We want Kross, we want Kross, we want Kross" chant. Kross talks about that every time Sami Zayn shows up every week, he was going to blast him with a steel pipe. And he get the "We want Kross, we want Kross, we want Kross." He says, "Well, here I am," to a huge pop from the crowd. He said all he wanted for Zayn to say was Kross told the truth. And if he didn't do so, he'd continue to make Sami Zayn suffer. Huge pop once again. I mean, like, I have to see it from both ends of the spectrum. I love this for Karrion Kross. I'm just my only nitpick here is that I wish that WWE would just embrace the reaction that he's getting and don't place him against underdog babyface Sami Zayn. Because he's not the most effective heel, because he's going against underdog white meat babyface Sami Zayn, and he's getting the louder babyface reaction than Sami, and he's attacking him with lead pipes, but the crowd loves him. I think that WWE just needs to embrace that and make him an anti-hero. We've been saying this since after WrestleMania, since the Raw recap promo that he cut, that he would make a perfect anti-hero. WWE just hasn't embraced it yet.
That's literally it. It's literally it. That's the easiest answer possible. Like, he's not a bad guy. He's an anti-hero. Like, that's literally what he is. Like, let him embrace what he's receiving, but at the same time, do bad things.
Yes.
It's what's created this groundswell of support for him, because he's not capitulating. He's not doing things differently. He literally stayed the course. And what was so cool about that whole reaction there is that you can tell, like, when Scarlett is in character, like, she has like this sinister type of look and smile. That reaction literally made her blush. like that, like, she literally was. She was
surprised by it. She was surprised by it.
Like, that shit, it just shows you, like, yo, they love what they do. And the fact that this is something that is paying off not from writers, but from the fans, it's just going to make him want to see him. It's just going to make him want it even more. And the fact that...
But we got Dion who says he could start doing bad things, heels, bad things. Oh, he could start doing bad things to heels instead. I thought he was trying to say he should start doing bad things as a heel. No, you're absolutely right. He should be doing these things to heels instead of to Sami Zayn, because he's gonna keep getting this reaction the more he's on TV, and because he has this cool heel vibe. He had the cool heel vibe when he was in NXT. They finally have recaptured it again, and you need to embrace it, though. He's not gonna get booed.
Could you imagine if they capitalize on Bron's comment earlier in the show about what are we gonna do with Karrion Kross?
And Seth saying no one cares about Karrion Kross, and Karrion being like, have you heard them?
Calling them liars. You're the liars. And then he attacks Bron with a pipe. Like, it's just the things that could happen with this. It could be PLE changing. Like, it could change the entire course of PLE builds. It could literally redirect how they do premium shows. Like, if this guy, and it's crazy is that he doesn't, when he's like this hot, he doesn't need to have the greatest matches, because his character's doing all the work. And long as his character is playing into his style, like that's all he needs. He doesn't need to have a 5-star match. He can continue on the path that he is on now with the style that he has, because it fits what he's doing. And man, they got themselves a fucking gold mine here, and they better fucking capitalize on it.
Agreed. And Dion saying, I don't recall a character that has ever done heelish things, but to heels, that would be interesting. I probably it's because you're a newer fan, but Dion, that's basically what Stone Cold did, how he got over as a babyface. He started doing all the stuff that got him over against Bret Hart, but then he started doing it against the Nation of Domination and people like that. That's what got him over as the original kind of big time Attitude Era anti-hero. And it's the same thing with The Rock. The Rock was doing a lot of his insults and everything to the likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin, to the likes of DX when they were popular baby faces. And then he turned all his insults onto the corporation after they turned on him. And that made him into this great big baby face in the company. And to a lesser extent, we've seen it in the modern era. LA Knight, what LA Knight did on this show, that's a heel thing to do, is to hit somebody, hit and run, and then run through the crowd. That's a heel thing to do. But because he's doing it against the heels, he got one of the biggest pops of the night.
Yeah. Like he LA Knight is doing anti-hero stuff.
Yeah.
So it's worked for him. Like he's never ever once claimed himself to be a good guy. Not once. Not once LA Knight thanks the crowd. Not once LA Knight acknowledges the people. The people always acknowledge him.
Exactly.
So there's nuggets that you can take from what you're seeing and just let Karrion Kross's wave just continue to fucking soar. Just let that shit soar. Don't change it. Just Let the shit play out, and you as a company will get handsomely rewarded.
Yeah. And I think he's more talking about WWE, but Power Driver Finisher is also right. Hangman Adam Page, Swerve Strickland, there are heels doing heel things to heels, thus they're the baby faces.
Yeah.
That's all it is. Because Hangman, all he needed to do was start feuding with the Death Riders, and they instantly went back on the heel turn that he had 4 months prior in last year, and then he started feuding with Moxley at the end of last year, and that's what made him back into a babyface, or started the motion for him to go back to being a babyface. And then he was feuding with he did the whole angle and whole matchup with Christopher Daniels, where he was definitely the heel in that scenario. And then the next week he's feuding with MJF, and then he's the babyface again. It's really, we see it throughout wrestling.
Yeah, it's the thing is that this is usually the easiest shit to book.
Yeah.
Because you could just put them out there and you can create what the end game is for what those two are, but then just let them create everything that's going to happen in between it. And then the finish could be what you guys write, and then let them create everything that happens prior to it. Give them that ability to, hey, this is what we're going to do, but we're still going to do the finish that you guys desire. It kind of does its own work. It kind of creates itself, which is usually what the fans get rewarded with the most, is when it comes off natural.
Exactly. Yeah. Hangman Adam Page, he did a buckshot lariat to a woman on Wednesday. That's not what a pure babyface is
supposed to do at all. At all.
But he's the biggest babyface in AEW right now. The world heavyweight champion Gunther took to the ring next. He takes the mic and he started by saying that he was going to defend his title this Saturday against Goldberg. And for the last 2 weeks, he has been verbally abusing Goldberg in the ring, and he has not done anything about it. That meant Gunther can only assume that Goldberg was afraid of him and the pressure. Before he could continue, though, he was suddenly interrupted by the sound of a car arriving to the arena. On the Titantron, we see a red sports car pull up, a red vintage car, pull up and get parked as Goldberg steps out of it, to a huge reaction from this Providence crowd. The Providence crowd did a big pop when they saw the car, did an even bigger pop when Goldberg comes out of the car. He starts marching through the backstage area. They do the side-by-side with Goldberg coming down through backstage as Gunther is calling him into the ring. The soon-to-be retired WCW legend marches his way to the ring and goes face-to-face with Gunther in a mood for a fight. Goldberg dared Gunther to hit him. Gunther finally, after being threatened by Goldberg, finally tries to go for a punch, but Goldberg blocks it and then knocks the champ right on his ass with a right hand. Goldberg gets into the corner and tries to position for a spear, but Gunther rolls out of the ring to avoid it, and is a potential disaster as he backs away from Goldberg, and Goldberg stands tall to a huge ovation. We had holy shit chants for Goldberg just merely talking shit to Gunther. This crowd was going insane for Goldberg.
Loved it.
They loved Goldberg here. This was a really well done segment, despite Goldberg not looking the best, because he was a bit winded for just a little bit of work. So Godspeed for Saturday. But the crowd made this. The crowd made this segment. They were electric for Goldberg and made him feel like the big star. Despite, I said this earlier in the weeds, and I'll say it here, it does not feel like Saturday is his retirement match. I would think that there would be so much more buzz and more anticipation for Goldberg's final match than what we have going into Saturday.
All right. Well, I'll leave the nitpicking to you, sir. I'll stick to the segment. It kind of was about to feel like Gunther was about to do, for the third week in a row, spit his shtick about what Goldberg is and was and what he's going to do. And this was all perfect. I thought this was perfect. Like, because he was unannounced. He was not advertised to be on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Just pulls up in that muscle car. And he just gets this raw. And you could just see there's purpose when he gets out. Like, he ain't there to cut a promo. He ain't there to go back and forth. And he's like, you've been talking shit about me for too long now. I'm right here. Throw your shot. And then Gunther was about to pick up the microphone and talk, and Goldberg slapped that shit out so fast. That shit was... See, little shit like that, I love shit like that. I love shit like that because he had the purpose and he stood on business. He wasn't there for a fucking promo. He was there to make Saturday happen on Raw, and Gunther was just ready to talk, and Goldberg wasn't hearing none of that shit. He was like, nah, we ain't talking no more. It's fight week. We ain't no more talking. No more talking. And then he hit, obviously, everything that took place after that. And yes, man, the man is almost 60, SP. Get a man a break. Like
man, get your conditioning together, bro. I don't care.
He's almost 60.
I don't care. I don't care, bro. Get your conditioning together, man.
You know what, Goldberg? Bless you, because you know what? I want to make it to. I would love to say I made it to almost 60 and be here talking to y'all. This man over here talking about get your conditioning up.
Get your conditioning up, bro. Like, come on, man. You gonna be in a world title match.
But yeah, this message, this segment did exactly what it was supposed to. Delivered, got the crowd hype, got this match built up to what it could possibly be. Obviously, we're not expecting much out of it, but it sent the message that this man means business, and his agenda is to whip Gunther's ass. Now, however he can try to do that, it remains to be seen. But that was the message, and it went through very vividly, very loud and clear, and it was very obviously the fans ate that shit up. That was great. That was another really good moment for this episode of Raw.
Agreed. It was a good moment, and it really added some hype to their matchup coming up at Saturday night's main event. We got Chuck Berry's with a good question here saying, what do you guys think is the over-under 4 minutes this match lasts on main event?
I'm going to go over because I think Gunther is going to attempt to blow him up.
Yeah. That you have to pay that off since he said that in the promo. I think that the match is going to go 7 to 8 minutes tops.
Yeah. Under 10, but
under 10, but 7 to 8 minutes.
Yeah.
Chuck Berry says, I say under 6 minutes. I think that's too
short.
That's
a good bridge. Yeah. That's a good bridge. You see the under 6 minutes? I think that's a good bridge.
Yeah, I'm gonna say slightly over 6 minutes,
right?
Because we'll probably see 5 to 6 minutes of the matchup. So you have to have a commercial.
I love that bridge, Chuck, because it's like you can't confidently say it's going to be over 6, but then you can't confidently say it won't make 6. Like that's a perfect bridge, Chuck. Good, that was a good call.
We got Power Drive Finisher. He says, look, yeah, he's older, but he's winded. That's the sign to maybe not do this match.
Oh, he's doing this match. He's doing the match. It's not a chance in hell he's not doing this match. His son is going to be there. Like, there's no way in hell he's not doing this match.
Joe with Chase says it would be the most Triple H booking ever Chase says it would be the most Triple H booking ever to show he doesn't have beef with anyone, giving Goldberg, a guy he tried to sabotage, the belt to prove a point. LOL, don't put it past his ego. When you make points, you make points.
If Hunter is still salty about shit that happened 20 plus years ago.
You know he is.
That would be that yeah, you might just you know what?
You see that with the Rock rivalry.
Just call him VKM the second.
You see that with how he treated Stone Cold at WrestleMania.
Call him VKM the second, bro. Like, oh my god. Wow. Yeah, it's possible though. The fact that it's a thought and a conversation, it's possible.
It is. So they ran down the lineup for Saturday night's main event. LA Knight versus Seth Rollins.
Better not go out there and look like Mike Tyson.
LA Knight versus Seth Rollins. Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther versus Goldberg. So we'll probably get 1 to 2 matches announced on SmackDown for that, because they're not going to do a 3-match card, especially with the main event probably going less than 7 minutes. Then you got Evolution, which has WWE Women's World Championship, Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky, WWE Women's Championship, Tiffany Stratton versus Trish Stratus, NXT Women's Championship, JC Jane versus Jordan Grace. You got Women's Intercontinental Championship, Becky Lynch versus Bayley versus Lyra Valkyria, Women's Tag Team Championship, Fatal 4-Way, Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez defending against Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, Asuka and Kairi Sane, and Zarya and Sol Ruka, Naomi versus Jade Cargill, no holds barred, and the Evolution Battle Royal. Winner gets a shot at the World Championship at Clash in Paris.
I mean, they threw a card together. They did throw a card together.
Evolution is a 3-match show. And I'm being generous by saying Tiffany and Trish is the 3rd matchup. It's really a 2-match show with the Intercontinental title 3-way and Rhea and Io. And then
they got
Saturday.
They got Jade and Naomi happening.
Yeah, but it's Jade Cargill.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah. So that's like, all right. So between
it could be good.
Tiffany and Trish is gonna be like probably like 5 minutes.
Nah, they're gonna probably give that like 10 to 11.
Okay. Yeah, I mean they got themselves some matches on there. They got some matches on there.
I think Tiffany and Trish has a chance to at least be decent. NXT, JC and Jordan will be solid. Becky, Bayley, and Lyra, they could go out there and steal the show. Rhea and Io could put on a match of the year candidate. The women's tag team title match, we said before, can either be a complete mess or actually a lot of fun. Naomi and Jade, similar to that, it could be awful or a lot of fun with the no holds barred stipulation. And then the Evolution Battle Royal is every WWE Battle Royal, which is just it was kind of there.
Just names.
Yeah, names thrown in the hat, and then you toss them out. Natalya and Maxine Dupree cut a promo on this show. They'll be on the Battle Royal at Evolution as well.
Okay, good. At least they're there. At least they're not doing anything important. Okay, cool.
They're another name in the hat.
Yeah, they're just names. Names. Good. They're not ruining anything.
Oh man, we'll be previewing that those 2 cards as well as NXT Great American Bash tomorrow right here on the True Heel Heat YouTube channel. Join us at 2:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Myself, Kate from Fightful, as well as Cresta the Star will be joining me for all of that. I got the ladies representing for Evolution. Stray with the great comment says Goldberg better not go out there look like Mike Tyson, SMH.
Yeah.
He also says that sounds like a good card. He says Jade and Naomi.
It could be like it could.
No, I think Evolution will outperform the build. I think because the build was so bad, it has low expectations that they're definitely going to go past.
Yeah, I think it could be a good show. It could be a good show. So I'm not gonna like shit on it completely. But yeah, I got to know what y'all schedule is for Friday. I might be able to make that thing on Friday, depending on what, because I know I want to go see it. I want to go see Superman on Friday, but I want to see what time y'all might be going on there.
We're doing 105 on Friday.
Okay, that might work.
Yeah.
I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, let me know. It's me, J News, and Maggie for the All in Texas preview. So that should be a fun one. We got Dion who says maybe they throw R-Truth and Aleister Black on Saturday night's main event. I think that program is leading to a Black and Priest feud. They got R-Truth versus Aleister Black on SmackDown this week.
Yep.
Remember when R-Truth felt like he was going to be a main eventer?
We said it took him 3 weeks to fuck that all up.
Yep, he did.
And they're not even calling him Ron Killings. They're just literally still calling him R-Truth.
Yep.
He literally announced he's Ron Killings, but they're still just, fuck you, you're R-Truth.
Yep, pretty much.
Fuck everything you said.
Yep. Triple H ain't never beaten those allegations.
Guilty. He's guilty.
Then we had the main event, Penta going one-on-one with Seth freaking Rollins. Penta surprised Rollins with a super kick just as the bell rang, which sent him to the outside. At ringside, Penta started chopping away at Seth and maintained an attack by bouncing his head off the announce table. Another attempt at a chop by Penta, but Rollins was able to dodge it, leading to Penta hitting the LED post. But Penta was, after getting thrown over the timekeeper's area, he came back off the barricade and hits a diving Hurricane Rana onto Seth. As Penta got back into the ring, Rollins took control with stomps, but couldn't maintain a clear advantage until Penta fought back. Rollins attempted a pedigree, but Penta countered and sent Rollins to the outside with a clothesline. Penta followed up with a tope con hilo and felled Rollins just as Raw went to its final commercial break on the US feed. Rollins sustained a cut above his right eye during the commercial break, and he started talking trash to Penta, saying, "You make me bleed my own blood." I was like, Seth, okay, I see you. I see you trying in the ring. Let's go. Penta fought back with Rollins getting out of Rollins' grip. He hits a modified sling blade and then followed up with a drop kick in the corner. Penta looks for a Penta driver, but Seth's able to escape. The former architect of the Shield, he couldn't escape a backstabber by Penta as both men recovered. Rollins showed impressive strength. He lifted Penta on his shoulders and then hit a gutbuster. He heads to the top rope and he does Penta's signature taunt, but wrong, where he just puts 3 up and then 3 down instead of the zero middle, and then hits a big frog splash, but Penta's able to kick out at 2. Then they started going beast mode toward the latter half of this matchup. Rollins had Penta in position for the stomp, but couldn't connect. Rollins was placed on the top rope by Penta, who followed with the 2 men duking it out on the top rope. Penta landed on the apron and then hits a modified Hurricane Rana, bringing Seth back into the ring. In the ring, he managed to finally hint the Penta driver, but Seth's able to kick out at 2.99, very close near fall, with this Rhode Island crowd going crazy. Penta placed Seth in position for the sacrifice, but Mr. Money in the Bank hits a buckle bomb instead, but Penta comes right out the corner and hits a Mexican destroyer to a huge pop. He almost gets the 1, 2, 3, but Seth's able to grab the bottom rope for the rope break. Penta dragged Rollins' lifeless body to the middle of the ring. He looks like he's setting him up for the package power driver, but Rollins is able to recover and basically does an accidental, quote unquote, low blow with a headbutt to the balls. He says that he hurt his head, and then he looks at the camera and he starts laughing as Penta is selling the low blow. He then follows up with the stomp. 1, 2, 3, Seth freaking Rollins picks up the victory here against Penta in a great main event. These 2 guys really started balling out towards the end of this matchup. They were really cooking, and they really found their chemistry in the latter half. I thought they built nicely and escalated. We had the big moments, big near falls down the stretch. They really worked well with each other. I thought this was Seth's one of his best performances as a heel since WrestleMania, and I thought this was a great showcase for Penta to show show that he could stand up to one of the main eventers in a first time ever matchup here. After the matchup, you get Paul Heyman calling for the Braun Stars to continue the assault on Penta. But before they can get to the ring, you get LA Knight sneaking through the crowd. He lays out Seth with the BFT. Breaker and Reed made a run for it, but LA Knight is able to escape through the crowd, gets the getaway, and we hear the huge pop for LA Knight as he hit the BFT, and then he's celebrating in the crowd with the fans. He does his signal, and we hear LA Knight, and then huge LA Knight, LA Knight, LA Knight chants as we close Monday Night Raw. Like I said, awesome main event. This was one of the better main events of Monday Night Raw, right up there with the Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso matchup from a couple of weeks back. Seth and Penta worked really well together, and they really started getting some really terrific sequences down the stretch, especially the buckle bomb into the Mexican Destroyer was the highlight of the matchup here. And then I love the post match with LA Knight basically ending the night after the Seth Riders dominated the whole show. It was LA Knight out of nowhere because Seth basically, he was out of sight, out of mind, lays him out in the end and gets the last laugh to celebrate with the fans. That was the great ending to the show as well. So I enjoyed this. What did you think?
Great way to end a great night. Like this match was this first time, and this is why in the beginning of the show here that I kind of like side-eyed that Penta comment, like just because Penta is in a big spot. Like he's in a big spot. Like he main evented the show with the top heel of the company right now. And they put on a fucking banger. Like they put on a banger. And he didn't look weak in losing because he got done dirty in order to lose the match. So it's not like he just got his ass whooped. Like that match was so back and forth. One of Seth's best performances of 2025. And that's what it took to defeat Penta. And he didn't do it clean. So like this is really elevating the importance of like Penta. And what I like about what's going on is that despite LA Knight not getting any championships, they're still finding a way to keep him very important on programming. Like, and that sometimes could get lost in like feedback given to what they're doing to performers because there's only so many top spots to be had. But he is still really important to their programming. And that cannot be overlooked because there's so many people. Like if you look at a former champion, like sometimes it doesn't take a championship win for you to still be really important. Look at somebody like Damian Priest. Damian Priest literally has nothing to do on programming right now, and he's a former champion. LA Knight has never won a championship besides the United States Championship, and he is still leaps and bounds more important than Damian Priest right now. And there's something to be said about that. And props to LA Knight for sticking to it and staying the course, because sometimes when you don't get that big accolade 2 years in, people just tend to kind of like wash out, want to not be a part of it no more. And he is just staying the course. And that is a big props to LA Knight, because without that big championship, he's still really important to the show. And that I cannot overlook. But yeah, and I love how all of this dialogue that happened at the start of the show, where they laid out their chess pieces, but they forgot about the bishop. They basically forgot about the bishop because that bishop just came straight at them and just took their king. And just straight up and took their king. He didn't take out Bronson Reed. He didn't take out Braun Breaker. He took out the king of the group. He took out Seth Rollins, the one that orchestrated it all, because he did not account for LA Knight. That was masterful, in my opinion. Like that, like the one guy that you did not pay attention to is the one that bit you in the ass at the end of the night. And you still got to go back and regroup. So really good match, really good ending, and damn, my opinion, this might have been the best Raw since they've come on Netflix. Like that's I said, my opinion. I'm just this that. Like
I like the show. I like the Raw after WrestleMania more and the June 9th episode. But I agree with Chilling with Chase, who said he loves that the Raw main events have been consistently good as of late. Like ever since the June 9th show that had Jey Uso and Gunther. Then the following week you had the Jey, Bronson Reed, Sheamus, and Rusev four-way, which had all the crazy run-ins. Then the week after that, you had Jey and Cody. Last week was Sami and Penta versus the Braun Stars. And then this week was another great one with Seth and Penta. Yeah, it's been the past month has been really damn good in regards to main event matches.
Mm-hmm.
But we've made it to the end of another edition of Rated Raw Review. You know the deal. Final call for Super Chat donations. Thank you so much to everyone who showed their support so far today with the likes of Chuck Berries, as well as Vala, Dion Jenkins. And we got another Super Chat donation from Dion here who says, Kross's chances of getting re-signed just went up. 1,000%. He's got to get re-signed. His contract expires in August. We should probably hear before the end of this month that he has re-signed.
He's gonna get a contract. Like that I'm not even like doubting that at this. He's gonna get a contract. They're not gonna let that reaction go undetected. They're just not. Like they love money too much. Like they love money too much to let that much money just go away.
Yeah.
Like they could literally print money by just making more of his merchandise.
He's top 3 in merchandise sales this year. So, like,
and that wanted shirt is tough.
Yeah. He's got a couple of really good designs for his t-shirts. He's killing it right now.
The Puppet Master shirt, like, I might have to get a couple.
Yeah, might have to do that too. But y'all know the deal. Spinal Cord for Super Chat donations. And of course, let us know your match of the night, your MVP, your LVP, whether you gave the show a thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle, and out of 10, what did you give this show? For me and Top Guy JJ, for the July 7th, 2025 edition of Monday Night Raw in 3, 2, 1. Thumbs up across the board from both of us. Top Guy JJ, out of 10, what did you give this show?
I'm giving this show a 9 out of 10. This show, I'm even hinging on going at 9.25. Yeah, I'm going to go 9.25. This was my favorite Raw. Like, this was my favorite Raw of the Netflix era. Like, because there was so little bad things to talk about on this show. Like, from the fantastic beginning to the little Dom shit with AJ, to the in-ring work, to the main event, to the magical night that Braun Breaker had, like the Goldberg and Gunther shit, like the morning of the New Day, which was still like weird, but it still somehow fit into the show. Like this show didn't have anything bad for me to say about it. So I'm going to stick to my 9, but I'm going to go 9 for this episode of Raw. Like, I thought this was a great episode of Raw.
I thought it was damn good. I'm going to go 8.5 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10. This was a very good episode. The best Raw since the June 9th episode. I think that they have sprinkled in some great episodes of Monday Night Raw. I thought the Raw after WrestleMania was probably in the top 2. I think the June 9th episode was probably a little bit better than that one because it had more wrestling on it and it had a better matchup in the Jey and Gunther rematch. But I would say this is probably like third behind those 2 episodes.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's as memorable as those 2 episodes. Because you remember the June 9th one had the R-Truth promo, it had Bayley's return, the Gunther and NJ matchup, like that had a bunch of memorable stuff. The Raw after WrestleMania had the start of the Steph Riders, had Stephanie Vicare's debut and stuff like that. Like those two episodes are more memorable, so I'll give them the edge. But this one is in that running, top 3, top 4, since it debuted on Netflix.
Yeah, and I think I gave that other Raw with our Truth a 9 as well, just off that R-Truth moment alone. Yeah. Just off the R-Truth moment alone. And now, obviously, I got to call them R-Truth now because the company's not fucking calling them Ron Killings. So, but yeah, like I don't have anything to complain about this episode. I really don't. So there's nothing bad, and that's kind of a rarity. So nothing bad to say. So this was a really good show.
Yeah. Match of the night, easily for me is Seth and Penta.
The main event. Yeah, it's the main event.
MVP for the show, easily, it's Bron Breakker. And LVP for the show, once again, easily, it's El Grande Americano.
I won't call him. I'm Ludwig Kaiser is the fucking LVP. I'm not shaming the name of El Grande Americano that much because that man is doing El Grande such an injustice. Yeah, Ludwig Kaiser is a fucking LVP.
So, moment of the night is probably the toughest. I think it's like a 3-way tie because of the crowd reactions. For the 2 crowd reaction ones is the Gunther Goldberg segment and LA Knight ending the show on top. And then the one personally for me, it's Bron Breakker's promo at the beginning of the night because that set the tone for him.
That's it for me too. Yeah, the crash out for me is the crash out.
I'm gonna spread the wealth because I already gave Bron MVP for the show, so I'll spread the wealth and I'll go with the other crowd reaction one, and I'll say Karrion Kross's promo and that reaction he got.
Yeah, that's a hell of an honorable mention. That is a hell of an honorable mention. But when I get to see a complete evolvement of a character and what he is potentially going to become, I'm giving that man all the flowers tonight. Karrion Kross will have his nights where he is the MVP, and I know this for sure. But he is a great honorable mention. But I am sticking. This is Bron Breakker's night. And especially what he had multiple moments. He had the insecurity moment. He had the crash out moment. He had the fucking completely eliminating Sami Zayn from action moment. like Bron Breakker was on one last night.
He killed it last night. But that brings us to a close on another edition of Rated Raw Review. We want to thank you all for joining us live today for the start of All In Texas Week. Yesterday, we had our NJPW Soul and Tanahashi Jam review with myself and J News. And then today, Rated Raw Review is just the start of a big week, All In Texas Week, where tomorrow we go live at 2:05 p.m. Eastern Time with myself, Cresta the Star, and Kate from Fightful to preview WWE Saturday Night's main event, Evolution, NXT Great American Bash, the whole Atlanta takeover for WWE. We preview tomorrow, so join us live here on the True Hill Heat YouTube channel at 2:05 p.m. Eastern Time. And Thursday, we got AE Ramble with myself and Jimmy Macaram reviewing the Go Home Show for AEW Dynamite. AEW All In Texas preview on Friday at 1:05 p.m. Eastern Time with myself, Maggie, J News, possibly maybe Top Guy JJ. Saturday, we got the flagship podcast with definitely myself and Top Guy JJ, True Jaw Josh, Miss Chrissy Love. The whole gang will be back together on Saturday to talk about this week in wrestling and give you the pre-show ahead of All In Texas, where we'll have a watch party for that show, a watch party for Saturday night's main event. We're going to have a watch party on Sunday for Evolution, but that's going to be after our AEW All In Texas review, where we got a roundtable review. We got John Escudero of Dirt Sheet Radio. We got the True Jaw Josh. We got Professor Chris of the NWA podcast and J News to talk about All In Texas. So join us live on Sunday for that and our Evolution watch party in the evening. And then Monday, we cap things off with Saturday night's main event and Evolution review. And that will be myself and Amanda Savage of Wrestle Talk and BodySlam.net. So you got a lot to enjoy as we push towards 24,000 subscribers on our channel. Top Guy JJ, thank you so much for joining me today. Please let everybody know where they can follow you on social media and when they'll see you again.
On Instagram, you can find me at TrueHill_Top Guy JJ. And on the YouTube channel, you can probably catch me here on Friday, depending on what time I book these Superman tickets. And definitely Saturday for the flagship podcast. Nice to see and hear. Potentially, because shit can happen, apparently. You know, we get full squad, get a full gang of the True Hill Heat. You know, this is the first time in a few months that we would all be together. So that would be awesome. So can't wait for that. And I'm pretty sure we are going to have a plethora of things to talk about.
Indeed. It's been a big week already. Monday Night
10
Raw.
o'clock this week, right?
Yeah, 10:05. 10:05 a.m. Eastern time.
I gotta make sure I set an alarm.
For the flagship. So yes, join us for that on Saturday as we're going to give you the final predictions for All In Texas, for Great American Bash, for Evolution, for Saturday night's main event.
Bro, why is your mic getting tired of you right now? I think your mic just said, "Yo, wrap it up, B."
Wrap it up, B. Wrap this shit up, B. But follow me on the Twitter machine at TrueHillSP3. Follow the gang, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at True Hill Heat. Patreon.com/True Hill Heat. We got even more content for you to enjoy. We'll be doing a preview for GCW in Dallas, Texas, as well as ROH Supercard of Honor. We'll have reviews for Supercard of Honor and Great American Bash at Patreon as well. So $3 a month. Get that exclusive content as well before Top Guy JJ. It is me, your True Hill Phenom SP3. This has been Rated Raw Review number 75. The Empire Strikes First. We are signing off until next time.
Fucking Kaiser, fucking clown.